Hello, Wild Wisdom Wars. Hello, YouTube. Hello, world out there. Hello, shamans. And here's Zuzi. Zuzi wanted to say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody. Oh, you shy now? You shy? Okay, I guess he's shy, but he wanted to be here. Hello, everyone. Hello, my dear shamans from around the world. Great to see you. Guess what day it is? It's VINO Friday. So welcome, everyone, to my journal. This is, of course, Lily Kolosova. Today is June 26th. 2020. So welcome to my journal. And so, of course, this is going to be Q&A. So since I talked about or started talking about what is this psychic warfare it's all about. And as you guys can see, because I've talked a lot yesterday after not being so talkative, my voice is not fully recovered. It truly is what happens with me when I talk a lot. I truly have to be quiet for some time. So anyway, so my voice might crack a little bit. So just so you know, it's nothing. It's just because I talked too much yesterday. Okay, so here's to every one of you that joining me. Hello, Anna. Hello, Ramus. Hello, my darlings. Thank you so much for being here. Zuzi wants to be here in my lap today. So he's going to be here. Okay, you guys. So here's to all of you. Thank you for joining me. A good wine. All right, you guys. So, hello, Matt. Good to see you. All right. I think he's comfortable now. So, I want to talk today, kind of go back to this subject of what is this psychic warfare and what is this vampirism or psychic vampirism that I kind of talk about. I wanted to come back to it today and just kind of talk about this and see if you guys have questions, if what I talk about makes sense in a way, because it really is. I'm not sure, what direction. Hi, Sunshine. Great to see you here. Great to see you here. So what direction sort of are we looking at? And we wanted to look at sort of together at things that might be sort of beneficial for collective humanity or for totality. Hi, Noraf. Good to see you too, friend. Good to see you too. Thank you so much for being here. Here's to you. Thank you. Have you guys noticed what's been going on with Schumann resonance? It's been jumping up and down. It's been exploding, right? Because all of that remember that what I was talking about. So let me talk about that a little bit first, because it's Casual Friday, right? So let me say this. Okay, you guys, if you have questions about the psychic warfare and the vampirism, if there's something you want me to go into more, then I will. And so go ahead and type it in here. But in the meantime, I'll talk a little bit about, I saw some people were posting and talking about the Schumann resonance that's been jumping up and down. And it's been, doing all this interesting stuff lately, right? In this last few days, even. So, hi, Rob. Did I say hi? Hi, Rob. Thanks for being here. So what's been happening is just, it's interesting to watch, because that is the confirmation. Like I said, there is celestial events or signs in the sky, as maybe like Native Americans like to talk about those as signs in the sky. And those are like, solar eclipses and things like that, and certain star signs and things like that, right? And so then now we have this sort of the other side to it, to where it confirms certain things. And so you see those signs happening in the sky, right? And then you feel that energy, or you feel the effect of those sort of things, but it's not because that's what controls you. It's because you're aligned and you look at everything from a shaman perspective. Like I said before, that everything I'm gonna give you, that perspective is gonna be from a perspective of shaman, which means in the neutral, like Santos said last time, that there is always this is your foundation as a shaman, is that you're a shaman, meaning you're neutral, but yet you're positive and negative, and your reality is completely your reality. And the only way to be a shaman, if you fully integrate that gift of being creator, being yourself, that's the only way you can express that. So it's always going to be from my perspective, which a shaman, right? That's what I kind of, I don't know what else to call myself, really. Because I am not, I'm not your typical, shamans like maybe you'll read in the book about. I don't know. Good morning, Santo. Hello, Jose. Hello, Paul. Thank you so much for joining me. Deanne, hello. Hello. Thank you. So Vino Friday. Hi, everyone. Beautiful. You're in national park and it's sunny in Queensland, Australia. Sun, sun, sun. That's what kills all kinds of viruses in your body, is sunshine, real sunshine. And so make sure you get that sunshine. And I know somebody posted in my thing on in Wild Wisdom Warriors, I think, about getting enough sunshine and not wearing too and also looking at the sun with your eyes without the sunglasses is very important, but you don't do it during the day, early in the morning, or late in the evening. Okay, and that's very good to do, because you direct like I don't know. I don't know how it's like, instead of like, if you want, like people might say, okay, you can use this looking into the sun as a sort of as a meditation process. And that's basically what you can do is, and if you, instead of like some people would go and close their eyes and then focus, and instead what you do is you focus into the sun instead of, and you focus into the sun. And so, and that could be a great meditation if you want to do sort of a journey, or so that's very important too. Absolutely, for the sunshine is extremely important. And this is why I say when I used to be in Mexico, you guys, and I used to see people putting this poisonous sunscreen on their babies and stuff. I mean, it's just like I would cry because it's just they're poisoning their children bodies with the sunscreen. So you guys, it's the chemicals in sunscreen are horrific, and what they do. And so sun is very important. Yes, sun is very important. So so I do a lot of that in the morning. Like when I go early in the morning, then I gaze into the sun in the morning. Go with my big wolf. We go into open space and hang out over there with coyotes and hawks and owls and all of those creatures out there, and a lot of birds here singing in the morning. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Okay, so yeah, the river of joy, life. Okay, you guys. So, Paul, you had a question. What aliens are real and what are not? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know even how to address that question, to be honest with you, but I'll try. I'll try. Okay, so real, not real. Well, there is a lot of real things going on, and those are all ages long genetic experiments that are not happening somewhere out there in the space. They're happening all in underground facilities and in the places where people can go to. Think of I can think of few where regular people don't have access and all of that stuff. So when you think about that sort of deep state stuff, it's all part of that sort of game board. But to say that the creatures that look like aliens don't exist, that would be a lie. They do, but those are not, aliens. Those are part of all genetic experiments and things like that. So, and then there is also a technology that people think that it's alien, right? And that one is, well, what you would consider alien. So you can consider that alien because it's a whole underworld technology. It's a demonic technology. So because it's projecting into the mind. So those all of those things is just all illusion technology. So you can call that alien, but it's nothing comes out of there. It's not how reality operates. Reality can only operate through us. It's what we create. It's how we perceive it. It's all through us. So it's just that whole concept, the way what they have their pole, the way they have it is turned inside out, and that's why they're pointing finger over there. So usually it's like that when they're pointing finger over there, like, look, how many fingers are pointing down? 3. 1 up there, 3 here. So they actually do point out to you where the truth is. You just don't see it because you see this, right? Up there. That's where the aliens, but they're actually underground. But so that's that. Okay, Paul. And what about Archons? That's also a sort of that has to do with black goo more, and that's more of a lot more like a quantum physics type of thing. So I don't know if I have the language to really, but these are non-physical, but yet there's a part to them that is physical, and that has to do with the Sophia falling. And so that actually was hijacked. It's organic hijacked. Okay, so it's a complicated thing, but how it manifests, let's just say how the archonic energies manifest, this is what we can sort of start unraveling from that place to how it manifests. And these are your patterns, and these are this is the sickness, and this is what some call it the narcissist, there's the psychopath, there's all kinds of different sickness. And that has to do with the DNA that I talked about, the manipulation for a transhuman agenda. And so that has to do a lot with the archonic energy. And so, hello, Darcy. Okay, Jose, you ask, I'm curious as to why you resonate with the label of a shaman in particular. Well, the thing is that original name for a shaman comes out of Siberia. And so for me, it was only natural. And I know that many people might think of the shamans. They usually think of, Castaneda. They think of, but rarely today, in today's history, people know the original shaman as a name for this individual that is in equilibrium. It came from Siberia, and so that's my stomping ground. That's the land that's my soul origin. So according to my soul, so the original name, is then, for me, it made the most sense, Jose, to, even though most people would say that, it's the other way around, that I am taking that name from, South America or some other shamanic traditions. But that's what it is. So that's what originally, in the original in my original ancestral line, that's what they were called, shamans. So that's that question. I think, is that satisfying, Jose? Is that what you wanted to know? Why? So, because I don't know what else am I gonna, I know I'm just me, but then you gotta give yourself some sort of label so people can understand, who are you. And so when you're just a creator being in human form, and you just want to have the freedom of the soul expression in this reality, and that's me, that's who I am. So I chose to call myself a shaman. All right. Okay. Dr. Jack Cruz has some great material on the sunlight. Yes, that's true, Santo. He does. And the benefits, quite a good benefits for our blood too, you guys. It really is cleanse the blood too, so the sunlight. Okay. Paul, you met a beautiful naked blonde woman in a dream. Probably a demon succubus. They usually come as your, they pick on your whatever your fantasies are. So and a lot of those people in spiritual communities, right? They think of that, they have this belief system, right? So yeah, those demons, the succubus or whatever, the ones that play on your sexual energy, the ones that poke at your sexual energy in the dream, those are actually the demons. And so they'll find it, whatever it is, your belief system. So and so you apparently like Pleiadians. You had a little belief system in there that they were able to be to look angelic and all of that stuff, and Pleiadians and all of that stuff. But like I said, those are very, very devious, actually, spirits that suck the life out of you. Because see, the sexual energy is the most potent, and so they literally suck the life force out of you. Good to see you too, Savannah. Okay, Ramus, you have a question. Can you address traditionality correct wave of fashion gurus, Indian spirituality? It became fashion these days, heavily playing one size fit all spirituality style. Thank you for that question. It's a difficult one, but it's sort of when you think about socialism, Ramus, and you live through that sort of when on the physical level, and for those of you guys that have experienced war and what the war does and what has to happen for that, the people that go to war actually physically have to come to the point to where they have to be on that level to where they physically would want to do harm to each other. Okay, there is a certain process that those of you that have experienced or lived through war or some sort of even here in America, I mean, it's a lot of people have connections to war times and know what war is. So hi Natasha, so good to see you here. Thank you for being here, darling. Hi Russ, Teresa, Bianca, hello. So think of it this way, okay, because you've seen it, we've experienced it, so now we're going to look back. And that enabled, so we're going to look into the past in order to understand the future. So even in America, when people went to war after 9/11, let's say, there was enough convincing wave of war salesmen that go ahead of time and sell that idea to whoever that, when the spiritual entity, which is the archonic energy, is a dead collective that is trying, and it only knows a collective. It does not comprehend an individual, an empowered individual. It can mimic, but it cannot, it does not have ability to do this kind of math. Let's just say that. So what happens and how do you submit to this collective entity or some sort of belief that this one entity fits all possession? Because that's basically what it is. When somebody's trying to control your soul unfoldment, that's a control system. That's a possession. That's someone's riding that soul energy. There's a parasitic energy that's riding that life force through that. And so for them, it's just like before people go to war, there is the chaos created. There is all kinds of things to where then there is that physical, then sort of that to push to the next level. So why is it that today it became so so popular? And this is how they started prepping, right? And they started prepping people for spirituality and making it this sort of one size fits all spirituality, group think, and all of that stuff. This only works for archonic energy. So one size fits all is what, so that the guru spirituality is sort of a denial. So it's basically a complete like coma state of being that they want humanity to be in. So then the humanity's collective as a totality accepts this authority, this archonic authority. And this is how they just slip that in. And so and so through those gurus who are heavily infected and are used as those sort of, as those fishermen, salesmen, to where they sort of, they give you this through all of that, and that's why all of those gurus things, and that's why they put up a great shows to do all kinds of things, so people start believing, and that's the grandiose shows. Remember that, what's his name, that Indian guy, but he was an American Indian, but he was in church and he was pushing everybody and healing everybody, and everybody was falling in church. What was his name? I forgot. I am so like, I don't remember useless names. Like, I don't remember them. So remember how, where the hell is that guy? Where is he when we need him to all heal us from coronavirus? Huh? You so Christian. Where are you? Osho was a cult. Yeah, Kali. They're all that one size fits all. It's absolute nonsense if you know who you are on the you are eternal eon here. When you accept that, I don't know, Anna, if that was him, but anyway. So I mean, this is, so that was then, and so now this spiritual guru and the Indian thing is because there's, in India there's gazillion different gods, right? And so people are dazed and confused because this is also part of the whole structure to keep people on that sort of in the strictly through operating through belief systems. Because like I said last time, those people that identify with any of those belief structures, they're not identifying with their true self. They're identifying with one belief system or another, or with just belief system. Or a lot of people have multi-layered belief systems and all of that stuff. Deepak Chopra is another piece of shit. Like I said, yeah, it's just blood market, you know. And there literally these people out there, they're dealing in soul energy. This is why I'm calling them pimps and stuff. They're dealing in soul energy, in human soul energy. So why do you think when I called them pharma pimps, like Joe Rogan, he just got, what was it, $100 million contract? What do you think they're paying him for? Where's that money gonna come from? It ain't from his looks. I'm gonna tell you that much. It ain't his looks that are earning him a pimp level salary. A pimping what? Soul energy. This is why they get paid big bucks. Uh-oh. I'm gonna let that ring. So this is what happens, you guys. This is what they're dealing in. And so here's your Deepak Chopra. Here's your Oprah. Hello, Oprah Winfrey and John of God and that whole bloody trail, the bloody trail. Benny Him. Yes, yes, Rob. That's him. That trickster. You remember how he fooled all the Christians? He was the original Indian guru. But then, another generation came in, needed to step up, and so New Age came in and all these gurus showed up. You guys, what is happening? All of that is built actually on abuse of children. There's a lot of stuff's gonna come out. What's been happening with the abuse of children all over the world, including those spiritual. Do you think that it's only one of those places around the world, like John of God? Look at a whole state of Utah in United States of America. There's child abuse on every corner. They call themselves Christians. And they abuse children. Oh, they didn't read in the Bible in their Sunday school that if you hurt a child, it's better for you to put a rock around your neck and jump into a deep river? How many of those abusers in Utah do you see jumping into the river with the rock around their neck? Have you seen any? I haven't. They're Christians. Coincidence? Exactly. Those are the operations. Those are the front. This is why I said religious loopholes. All of that abuse, it's happening right in front of our noses. Right here in the middle America. The whole state has accepted that abuse already as a norm. The whole state. And then you get to find out later, you guys, how Ukraine Gate actually connects to Utah Gate and the Mormon Gate. They have their hands there too. There is John of God over there too. And they have them in Africa. Oprah has schools in Africa. Hello? What do you think those schools are all about? What do you think those schools are all about in Africa? And all of the donations that she got for that schools in Africa. This is what they're doing openly. That's what's going on. And that's going on with our innocent children. And then the soldiers that go and see this happening, they see that that's actually the mission. And so when they come back from that war, they're in total distress. And so here comes healers. Special healers come and suicide them every hour. One dies in this psychic war. $800,000 children a year in America disappear. Their lives don't matter. This is all spiritual warfare, you guys. It's all spiritual warfare. There is John of God thing in every third world country. And like I mentioned, Costa Rica, this abuse is so entrenched into the societies. And it's so, this sickness is everywhere. And so these people out there, I mean, like I said last time, they're gonna scream and yell and all of that. The parasites will do all of that. They'll demand their food. The narcissists are gonna be having panic attacks. Okay, did I miss any? Yeah, Rob, 100 million. 100 million to deal in the soul energy, because this is what it is. Not his looks. They don't. Pimps, pharma pimps don't need to look good. Not his looks that they paying him 100 million. See, he was willing to sell that blue pill for 1,000 a piece. So he showed his loyalty, right? He showed that he can pimp. Congratulations, Pharma Pimp. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. What you gonna do with all those millions? And all the shame that comes with it? What are you gonna do? Hey, Joe. Spiritual comatose state, I observed. Yes. It is. I mean, this is what it is. They have no conscience. These people have no conscience to sit there and sell this and say, okay, I'm going to get away with it. Like I said, because they count on that promise that people will be kept stupid enough that they'll never know. That's what pimps count on. That's how they control their bitches and all of that stuff. Through money. Like I said, Burisma's closed, bitches. No more payments. Okay, Remus, you're talking about Indian spirituality. Yeah, let me give you an example about the Indian. You're talking about Indian that from India, but what your question or your statement reminded me of is Standing Rock and Native Americans. And I want to tell you guys what happened there. Remember when all of that happened and all of that thing, and there was two sort of forces there, but they were both sort of being paid for by deep state, right? And some of the people that I was involved with, like Christine Anderson and Randy Morgans, were involved with that, and they were reporting on that. This is actually was that time when I tested both of them, and this is when they really showed their loyalty. And so this is when I knew 100% that they were fully controlled and operated, that they were operatives. So they really revealed themselves through that in what happened there. Because there was, and then eventually it all came to, to the thing is that inside people were paid off and all of that stuff. And remember, it was just all staged. Not to say that it didn't wake up a lot of people and there's things that were done, but at the core of it, that movement was invaded. And this is what happens with all of it, just like it happened with Truth Movement. They come in and they become friends and surround the individual that actually holds the truth. They surround them and then they just slowly trap them in. And I've seen attempts of that on me so many times, but by these operatives. I mean, and talking about freaking succubuses. That came. There was some spiritual man that was so special spiritual. You know, they wanted to be my friends and stuff, and they were so spiritual. Ooh, ooh, ooh. There were, you know, that fake spirituality, fake it until you make it crowd. That's what it is. When they identify with something so faint, you know, so somewhere out there that, oh man, I don't know. It's just like, it's that fakeness of that, like a gazillion different Indian gods, is because, you know, because they're so externalized themselves, they're so lost, there's no self. So they're so lost. So there's must be the gazillion higher goddesses and all of that stuff. It's just, it's that part of that, in a way. Well, they see it as a weakness. They see it as inability to sort of to mimic a human being intelligence. But a human being intelligence is divine. It's the breath of God, and, you know, it's the gnosis. It comes, that intelligence comes through your ability to access God within. But if they don't have God within, you know, they want to access it as far as possible, and when they don't experience that God within, right, then they reach as far as possible, and they make that belief system so elusive, so difficult to get to. And this is what creates, as early as somebody said, creates that comatose state of being, to where then, just like these people, then can come in, right, like Joe Rogan can come in and talk about the blue pill, and people will get it and go and stand in line for that blue pill, $1,000 a pill. That's ultimately why they pay Joe Rogan 100 million to do that. That's the pimp, because the return, he's got to make a return on that money. How he's going to make a return? He needs to sell pills for $1,000 a pop. Okay? It's a very simple math here. And so this is how it works. And so, I mean, I posted in Wild Wisdom Warriors that little clip, Richard Pryor clip, and he talks about when they give him shit, and NBC, when he originally first, they give him a show, and then they try to submit him to be a pharma pimp, and what he talked about, how he didn't want it to be pharma pimp. Richard Pryor, I don't know, it was 70s probably when he talked about that. So you can look at that. So when you look at that, so he's been paying 100 million. He's gonna have to return that money. Okay? So he's gonna have to convince people to buy that pill. And he's gonna do everything and anything because he's got a quota to make. He owes them that much other people's soul energy. That's what's going on. New Age Hinduism and all of that stuff. There's always, Teresa, there's always going to be some parts of it that are truth. There is myth. There is all of that stuff. There's myth, I know. And then like my Siberian shamans that tell the stories, childhood stories that your grandmas will tell you. They're like children's stories. They're a myth that meant to tell you who you truly are. And it's just, it's when you, it's spiritual in its nature. It's like, Susanna is glitchy again. Susanna, stop, you little bitch. Okay. How about now, Anna? Ah, Susanna. I think she's barely alive now. She's like twitching. Susanna's still twitching, apparently. 20 million masks sold out at, what wouldn't they say for that $100 million? What wouldn't the pimps say? Do they have conscience? No. So they'll say whatever. Well, maybe they do need to sell millions of those masks, because there's apparently idiots out there who wear them and are getting sick, because imagine all of that spit comes out, sits in that mask, rots. And then they put that rotten thing back on. So, I don't know. If they needed this many, what are you going to do, Ed? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You can't do anything. People would want to jump off the bridge. Let them. Like I was talking about the experience with Lilu and Lisa Harrison. I mean, if you're dumb enough to believe that some Lilu that talks to you through computer is going to take you to some kind of home, I mean, you're dumb enough to jump off the bridge. So what am I going to, am I going to come and catch you? No, I'm going to let Mars catch you. I mean, what are you going to do? You can't do anything. There's people are just, they're gone. There's nobody home. Who's Susanna? Susanna there is a Russian song about an old prostitute. Her name is a little bit different, but because of Susan Wachowski and YouTube, I call her Susanna. So there is, this is how I keep track of things. I give them names, nicknames, and things like that. It is what I am. I am Goof. That's just the way it is. Okay. Oh Lord. Susan Wachowski she's the CEO of YouTube, and she's got this little thing over here that acts up, so I call her Susanna. All right. Yeah, the body's awake, the soul's dead. Yeah. So the toxics and the toxicity, see, and this is why they sort of will go out there with this is why I like say ultimately they will go out there and sort of give you this sort of new teachings or new things, or like, the black magicians are out there gonna, I'm gonna reveal a secret. I'm gonna reveal a cold secret for you. I'm so special. I own everything. I own your awakening. I'm gonna reveal a cold secret for you. I've seen somebody over there offering to reveal occult secrets, to, I guess their monthly donations are not coming in or something. It's just getting comedy out there with these people. They will attempt to get that energy. This is like, and this is why I told you guys, look into narcissism and what it has to do with possession, and how these people, they do not generate joy. And that's why they have such a sick view of happiness. And what makes them happy is that sickness. It's the envy. I don't know how to explain envy. It's the absence of love. because the soul is the love. It's the love that you carry. That's the divine human being, has the soul, divine soul. And so that's the love, that unconditional love, as some might call. And a lot of people can relate to that you feel this love, but you feel it, that it emanates from you. And that's the key. When you feel it, when you truly feel it. And this is why I say this is so important, that you stand in your own reality. This is that you are anchored in that joy, that you are swimming in your own eternity. And so, absolutely, Teresa. And this is what people are finding out, that the narcissists, they cannot generate joy. They do not experience joy. In fact, what they experience is envy instead, which is the opposite of or the lack of that unconditional love that our soul has originated from. So when I talked about the original timeline, so I talk about our original sun within, right? And that's why the Christ is being is called the sun. If you are a child of the original narcissist, I'll get into that, sunshine. I want to do a little bit of a talking. I want to come back to the narcissistic families and children that are affected by that, because the horrific abuse that's happening there, and this is where the parasite is anchored, and this is where they operate the most through. And so this is why it's just not the right time yet, because it's just, people are not ready for it yet, to be honest with you. That's but there is no, if you're the thing is, I'm going to tell you this thing. In my family, I know my two sisters are, there is nothing that's going to, they're completely gone. There is the malignant narcissist, okay? And there is no return. One has already like a heart battery, because she's gone. There's nothing left there. There's nobody home. She's long gone. There's only demon there that's still, using her through the battery. So and here I am. So it's just, I don't know about the family thing, and how I think it's truly is the divine order, that the whole thing, parent child, is just so minimal in this thing. This is so much deeper. And so when any soul, any child is born, and like with my other sister, that I know she's a narcissist too, because she used to abuse me when she was a child. It's like the demon was in her ever since she hit the planet, It's just, she used to be so brutally sadistic, in fact, in her abuse. She was only 2 years older, but I was so much smaller. So she beat me with everything she had. And I could feel it, because she was quite a lot bigger than me. And so, and that was, ever since I remember, she did that to me. So that's how she was, from that very age. And so it's difficult. So all you can do at this point is just, it's not so much, it's more of a spiritual nature right now. And so when there is young child, it is our duty as a divine human being to always protect innocence. So no matter what, because even if that child is surrounded with love, but it's born like that, and then there's could be healing there of some sort. You know what I mean? So it's all depends, okay? Teresa, you said, I feel you, Lily. I was married to one for 20 years. I was married to one too for over 10 years. So yeah, I've got enough experience with them. And they ain't gonna trick me. No more. Not to say that they haven't before, but I needed to experience that. Otherwise, how would I be able to know that or to talk about it right now? All right. So anyway, you guys, I think I've yeah, Teresa, you said in the top here, I'm looking, you said they're absolutely devoid of love and incapable of giving and receiving, so they suck blood. And it's not so much, and then when you see that in the sort of, in the spiritual form, these are the people that, what I said, and in one of my journals, I said they're constantly jealous. It's not jealousy, it's the, I missed this words, it's the envy. It's the constant envy is what sort of drives them. This is what a divine human being follows his joy, and then the narcissist or the possessed, mask equals muscles, absolutely. And then the divine, and theirs is the anti-life force. So, and that expresses itself as envy, meaning they are constantly want something. This is why in Bible it says this greed. That's the sin, that sort of that those like sins things in the Bible, they describe the narcissist, how they operate and how they act. So how to recognize them when somebody is possessed. So that's what it talks in the Bible about that too. So so the greed is the sign of that possession, of that anti-life force, or the archonic grid, or they're attached to archonic grid genetically through that third technological strand DNA. Those are the special people. They're, they're here to fix everybody else because they're so smart. Ooh, they're so smart. They're here to fix everybody else. Everybody else is wrong. They're the only ones who's smart. How are they going to prove it? Oh, they're going to kill all the smart people. They're going to be the only ones smart left. You know who I'm talking about, you guys? All right, you guys. I think somebody's here, back home. Hi, darling. And it's been almost an hour, and Susie wants to go say hi to Daddy. Go say hi to Daddy. All right. So you guys, thank you so much. I will look through. If I miss any questions again, I will come back to you, to those if I can. It's just, it is what it is. Like I said last time, for me, it's one foot in front of another. It's my journey. It's incredibly fruitful for me right now. So I'm just enjoying these energies. They're really rich. So enjoy, you guys, and thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for liking the videos. And until next time, have a glass of wine and happy Vino Friday. Stay wild. Stay wild. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. Joe's shitting his pants. I'm done.
Cold.
I didn't end the stream. Oh, crap.
Right back.
I'm reading something.